Oh, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back, you lovely faces, to a brand new video here on the channel. And have we got something great to look into? We're just going to jump straight into it because this is great to see. Hollywood needs Johnny Depp. Modi cast members urge industry to love their director again. As his latest film debuts at the San Sebastian Film Festival, his cast is nothing but complimentary of the once beloved star. He's the nicest, the kindest, the sweetest man I've ever worked with in my life. And to be honest with you, with that headline there, I bet you all these places absolutely hate it. Because, again, when you had Barassi, the private investigator who AH hired, just look what he came out and said about things. You know, he was like, yeah, I went nearly all over the world, and some people didn't want to be spoken to. Again, the majority of them were, he's the greatest guy ever. You know what? It must be hating for the Hollywood Reporter as well to write this. Johnny Depp has had, it's fair to say, a rocky few years in Hollywood. After the public divorce and defamation trial involving his ex, he dipping a toe back in the film waters with Modi, 3 Days on the Wing of Madness, going down about what the film is. And it's amazing to see, you know, we'll blow up a bit more. Here we go. It was Depp revealed at the movie's press conference that Al Pacino who urged the actor, or in this case, director, to take it on. When Pacino speaks, you must listen, 1000%. The film is receiving its world premiere on the Spanish coast, with Depp and his cast putting on a united front. Let's celebrate Johnny and this movie. That's what the guy, I can't say his surname, I do apologise. I don't want to butcher it, tells the Hollywood Reporter. His co-star, Antonia, people need to move on. Depp likened his bumpy life to Modi's at the press conference. I'm sure we can say that I've been through a number of things here and there. Maybe yours didn't turn into a soap opera. I mean, literally televised. His cast are nothing but complimentary, and that's an understatement. They describe him as full of love and a fatherly figure who has heart and trust. Below, both of the actors, the lead actors, speak candidly about what it is to be on a Depp set, while the film's supporting cast, Bruno, Louisa, and Ryan, weigh in too. He's the nicest, the kindest, the sweetest man I've ever worked with in my life. The industry, I think, should be very careful. And now we're going into a few things where, obviously they're talking about Johnny Depp. You got this one by here. Antonia was sent the script to be considered for Beatrice's part, and obviously Modi's partner for 2 years. And when I read the script, I hadn't read a script that felt so uncensored in forever. And just go on to say about the fact that Johnny Depp was directing, the fact that the other guy was playing Modi, it felt incredibly exciting. So I taped because I was like, they need to see how much I want this. So you had that one by there. Then you got Ryan, who was an incredibly opportunity. And of course, the opportunity to work with Johnny Depp and be in a film with Al Pacino. These guys I looked up to as a kid. Bruno goes on about being directed by Depp. With this fantastic cast, it was such a great opportunity. As you can see, they are going to be bringing out a lot of love towards him. And again, it's like when he played King Louis last year, and so many things were coming out about it. You know, when they were like, oh my God, they can't stand each other and all this nonsense. And what happened? They were at the Cannes Film Festival, and she was like, no, we're both, so obsessed with doing this job and doing this job well, there is going to be conflict. But they were like, no, we do like each other. But again, no, they always like to throw things in and be like, oh, look at them, they hate each other, they're going to argue, they did this, he did this. It's just absolute bull, it all is. Obviously, then it goes on regarding Al Pacino. Even if we don't have a scene together, it's a big honor to be in this insane movie with all these actors attached to it. That was a photo on the set of Modi. And this is DDA. This one by here, DDA, they're the ones who are the PR firm who has told all these journalists who have done a job one way for 30, 40, 50 years, you can't do it now. I say what goes and you follow. Which is like, that's not going to work. You are just going to get these journalists doing bad press. And that's what's happened. But it goes on, obviously Ricardo was going on. It was a crazy thing because I had this Zoom call with Johnny and I was driving on the highway, so I had to stop. That sounds kind of familiar, doesn't it? It was 9 or 10 o'clock at night, and so the first meeting I had with Johnny was a gas station. See, that's absolutely amazing. He asked, "Where are you?" I said, "I'm at the gas station. I'm sorry, Johnny, but I was driving down with my daughter. It was a little bit difficult." And someone else was there, I think Stephen Graham, or one of the producers. And he said, "That's our man." So we met. Then we saw each other in London. But for me, Modi is very important because my mother, she's a painter. So you got that part by there, which is absolutely amazing to see. It was exactly like it is. Very strange. And I always grew up thinking that I wanted to buy a Modi one day. Impossible, because the last one to sell 5 months ago was $470 million. Wow, that is mad. But it does go on, you say, obviously, like this one by here now. So it's safe to say working with Johnny Depp was a huge pull for you all on this. It is very, very safe to say. He's the best actor of our century. He has a heart and trust, which is, I think, the most important things for an actor. They need to feel this trust from the director. It's critical. And it's very strange because Depp puts you in a position where you feel free to deliver whatever you want, but then he drives you with very smart and precise indications. It's fantastic because you feel free but safe. Now with that part by there, if we just go back a little bit to his interview where he says, "I just let them go and do their thing. They act, react, and I watch." That's what they're bringing out by here, which is absolutely amazing to see. And as you said, as well, by there, you feel safe and you feel free. That is just amazing. Also, Johnny is a definition of an artist. He's a painter, he's a musician, he's an actor, he's a director. And he refuses to be boxed. He refuses to go into the conformity of things, so he's fully uncensored. Being directed by someone who just doesn't, excuse my French, give a shit about other people's opinion, and who's just going to do things for the art and for the love of it and the passion of it. It's just completely enthralling. Yeah, which is absolutely amazing to see. Was it peculiar reconciling Johnny Depp the actor with Johnny Depp the director? I first had 10 minutes where I needed to get my fandom out in our first Zoom meeting and tell him how much I admire him. He calls me kiddo, and he just felt like a very fatherly figure that was going to guide us very gently and carefully into the world. It's just amazing all this is. This one I do like. Do you have any tidbits or memories from set that would give audiences insight into Johnny Depp as a director? There's a scene in the cemetery that is a definition of how he allows things to happen. When we are running and we just went crazy and in one take, which is the one in the movie, Desplat falls, and she was never supposed to end up on the floor. Instead of stopping the scene, I go and say, "Are you okay?" We kept going and it was fantastic, and Johnny loved it. He calls it movie magic. That's what he's looking for. Accidents. Yeah, if you can get things on camera and they work well for the actual scene, brilliant. Keep him in. And of course, we had the whole crew and Johnny was going, "Is she okay? Is she okay? Is she okay? Can we keep going?" Obviously, we didn't hear that, but we heard about it later on. And he came out and was like, "This is movie magic." I have to say that I don't work with many directors who give me the possibility to show my fantasies and give me such confidence. It was deeply collaborative. He really, really encouraged us to take risks with the work and with the performances. Yeah, so with that one there, taking risks with the work and the performance, Johnny is one of the biggest ones to do that. Perfect example is Jack Sparrow. We've covered it on this channel where we did videos going through the whole Pirates of the Caribbean lore and even, the making of the very first film, where Disney, when Johnny Depp told them, "Right, my character's going to have this, he's going to be like this person is going to be his father," and that, again, that's how he thought. He goes, "In my mind, this is my father, I'm going to act like him," and this is how he was, and now look at it. It is one of the most iconic movie performances ever, and it's catapulted him just to number one, above everyone. In 2001, that was something of an accomplishment just by itself. Because when you look at the people who were around, you had everyone. You had Will Smith, obviously Keanu Reeves, you had Sandra Bullock, you had all the other people. And it's just like, yeah, he actually just torpedoed over him and like, "Yeah, I'm number one, guys." And he was number one for like 15 years. And it was just nuts. Now, saying about here, now obviously, a lot of people view this as Johnny's big return, in lots of ways to Hollywood, after some instability these past few years. Do you think he deserves a second chance? Yeah, people need to move on. Second chance. Why? I think Hollywood needs Johnny Depp, an artist of that kind. It's very important for Hollywood and for cinema in general. And yeah, it's a very controversial thing, but at the end of this process, can you imagine how such a big sufferance there is behind these things? When you feel attacked by a world, why? And actually, you're a good man. He's the nicest, kindest, sweetest man I've ever worked with in my life. The industry, I think, should be very careful because artists are very, very fragile. It's not easy to just arrive. Of course, there are privileges, but at the same time, it's a difficult job. And again, you're going on about he's a human being, and obviously we need humanity and everything else in the world. And we've already covered a few of these things now in other videos. But with all of this, it's absolutely brilliant to see that everyone is like, yeah, you know, Hollywood needs him. But we got that by there, guys. Let me know what you think about this down below. It's nice to actually see now that people are taking notice that Johnny Depp is back, and literally everything that has happened in the past, everyone's like, he won the trial. He's won it. You know, it was found out that she did do these horrible things to him. And with that, he doesn't need Hollywood. I don't think he will again. Let me know what you think about this down below, folks. If you are new to the channel, like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I will see you soon.